We are at the halfway point on the road to WrestleMania. Welcome to Elimination Chamber. We are going to kick off the night with a world title match. And it's going to be for the WCW World Heavyweight Championship. The champion, AJ Styles, defending against this man, LA Knight. If you are new to the universe, and if you're wondering why LA Knight is coming out with 2 WCW television titles, while he was out of action for a little while, thanks to AJ Styles, The Miz started showing up with the white version of the TV title, trying to pass it off as the real television championship. Those two met at the Royal Rumble in a ladder match. Both versions of the WCW television title hung above the ring, and LA Knight was able to climb the ladder and pull down both belts. And I guess maybe he's still carrying them both around as some sort of badge of accomplishment. Obviously, if he can walk out of here with the big gold belt, the WCW World title here tonight, he will have 3 belts to his name. Now, there is a lot of history between these two. The bad blood has just continuously boiled over since this past summer. LA Knight would get involved in a match that AJ was in. Inadvertently got AJ disqualified in that match. And then it just kind of took off from there. The two of them were in a triple threat match at SummerSlam against Drew McIntyre, who at the time was the WCW United States champion. In that one, Knight and Styles seemed to spend a little more time focused on each other than winning the match. McIntyre would retain. Then in the following month at Fall Brawl, Styles and Knight would meet in a Falls Count Anywhere match. AJ would win that one thanks to a little bit of hands-on help from his pals Gallows and Anderson. As a result of that match, Knight was actually on the shelf for a little bit. Styles would head into Halloween Havoc. He would have a match against Cody Rhodes for the WCW World title. Much to the shock of AJ, a returning LA Knight was announced as the special guest referee. At the end of that match, Cody would retain. But LA Knight had a very fast count. And after the fact, Cody said, hey, I went back, watched the tape. That doesn't really sit well with me. How can I make this right, AJ? Wanted AJ to join Team WCW, which AJ did, along with getting a rematch at Starrcade. But AJ wasn't done there. On the night that LA Knight would become WCW television champion, AJ would attack him in the parking garage, putting him out of action again. Then at Starrcade, AJ, with some help from the debuting Abyss, defeated Cody Rhodes to become WCW World Champion for a 5th time. Not enough there for Knight. Anderson grabbing the leg of LA Knight. And now Gallows up on the apron. And LA Knight not one to ever stop talking to anyone. These two going back and forth. AJ from behind, using the distraction to his advantage. Eventually, when Knight did make his return, he had 2 matches signed. One, the ladder match at the Rumble. The other, this one, here at Elimination Chamber. And up until that distraction that kind of let AJ back in this match. 360, hooks the leg, but Knight able to get the shoulder up. Styles grabbing Knight. Styles clash, rolls him over. Referee in for the count. And AJ Styles, with some help from his buddies again, is going to walk out of here still WCW World Champion. And here comes Damian Priest, the man that's up next, the Royal Rumble winner, and the man that will challenge AJ at WrestleMania 3. Up next, we've got the Women's Elimination Chamber match. The winner of this one moves on to WrestleMania to take on Raquel Rodriguez for the WCW Women's Championship. An interesting stat of note when it comes to the Women's Chamber winner. There is a 100% success rate that the woman who wins the Elimination Chamber goes on to WrestleMania and successfully walks out a women's champion. Year one, we saw Tiffany Stratton win the Chamber, go to WrestleMania to take on Sonya Deville, and defeat Sonya to become WCW Women's Champion. Last year, it was Becky Lynch who would win the Chamber and go on to WrestleMania to take on the WWE Women's Champion, Bianca Belair. She would successfully win that championship at WrestleMania 2. And so, if we go on past the past track record, the odds are really high that whoever wins this Chamber here tonight will walk out of WrestleMania as champion. And while we've got a 100% success rate on the Chamber winner, the Women's Royal Rumble winner, on the other hand, 0-for-2. Bianca unsuccessful in year one. Asuka unsuccessful last year. The participants in this one, we do have some former champions in there. Ivy Nile, the most recent former WWE Women's Champion. She lost the championship back at Starrcade to Nia Jax. Nia set to defend the WWE Women's Championship against Becky Lynch at next month's WrestleMania. Jade Cargill in now. Liv Morgan, a former one-time WCW Women's Champion, as well as one-time WWE Women's Champion. Rhea Ripley, a former two-time WCW Women's Champion. Jade, who's had some opportunities, but every time has come up short. That track record of failure kind of coming to a head. Back at Starrcade, her best friend, and the woman who thought of her like a sister, Bianca Belair, had a shot at Raquel and the WCW Women's Championship. Jade would be at ringside in what we thought was her watching Bianca's back. And just as Bianca Belair was about to put Raquel away, Jade would hit the ring and attack, costing Bianca. And while Bianca did win the match by disqualification, titles do not change hands via disqualification. Jade, who would qualify for this chamber by defeating Tiffany Stratton. Then a few days later, Bianca, in her qualifying match, was taking on the sixth woman in this match, Giulia. Giulia, who made her Open Mic Universe debut back at the Royal Rumble. Officially signed with WCW. And as sort of a signing bonus, was given a spot in one of the qualifying matches. And that match was against Bianca. And just when Bianca was about to pick up the win, Jade's music would hit. And Bianca, of course, expecting Jade to attack completely, took Bianca's attention off of Giulia, took it off of the match. And Giulia would be able to capitalize on that distraction. Naomi eliminated thanks to Jade there. So it's down to these final five as the final pod opens. And it is Liv Morgan. And so Jade, who not only cost Bianca the WCW Women's Championship back at Starrcade, she's also the one responsible for Bianca not qualifying for this very Elimination Chamber match. And again, if you're Giulia, no offense, you're looking out for yourself. She took advantage when Bianca took her attention off of the match, and that's how she got here. Now Liv and Rhea going back and forth, and Jade sticking her nose in there. Ivy in the ring, focused on Giulia. Rhea down, Jade down, and now Ivy down. How huge would it be for somebody like Giulia? She's only been in the universe for a short time outside of the Rumble, has only had a handful of matches here. If she could find a way to walk out of here the winner tonight, she would have a WrestleMania ticket punched. And that would be huge. Somebody like Jade, who has been in the universe for years, can't seem to get over the hump. Rhea with only a count of 2 on Liv as Rhea climbing the chamber. Big splash after the climb. Giulia now sent to the outside. And now Ivy looking to see if she can get Jade to submit. But Jade hangs in there. Liv tossed in. And now Ivy turning her attention towards her. And really, there she goes back to Jade. You want to not give anybody any time to kind of recover, which wisely Ivy turning her attention back to Jade. Now Giulia climbing the chamber. And a big splash from her on Rhea Ripley. Liv now rolls up Giulia, but doesn't even register a count there. Ivy down, Jade down, Rhea down. Only a 2 count there for Liv as she went for the cover on Rhea. Ivy trying to get back to her feet. She's kind of hanging out in the corner. Only a 2 count there for Giulia on the pinfall on Liv. Rhea now taking it to Ivy Nile. What's Rhea gonna do here? Going in for a spear, but Ivy able to block it. And then gets rewarded with Jade Cargill waiting in the wings. Now Liv off the chamber. Down on a lifeless Giulia. And now Giulia has been eliminated. We are down to Liv Morgan, Rhea Ripley, Ivy Nile, and Jade Cargill. Rhea goes for the cover on Ivy. And Ivy Nile has now been eliminated. Now we are down to Liv Morgan, Jade Cargill, and Rhea Ripley. Jade with the cover after letting Liv do the dirty work, but Rhea able to kick out at 2. Now Liv back to Rhea. Jade is down. Oblivion hooks the leg. And now Rhea Ripley is out of there. It is down to Jade and Liv. One of these 2 women are headed to WrestleMania to meet Raquel Rodriguez for the WCW Women's Championship. Liv down and Jade talking some trash. Lifts Liv up. Jaded. 1, 2, and 3. Jade Cargill weathers the storm. And now she has punched her WrestleMania ticket. She will meet Raquel Rodriguez for the WCW Women's Championship at WrestleMania 3. Next, we've got a match for the WWE European Championship. Carmelo Hayes, who has 3 back-to-back-to-back wins against the champion Chad Gable. And by winning the last one, even though it was by disqualification, he earned himself this match here tonight at Elimination Chamber. Gable, who told his coach, Kurt Angle, that he didn't want him out at ringside tonight. He's going to do this one on his own. Mello out there on his own, as well as his tag team partner Trick Williams, suffering an injury this week on SmackDown at the hands of Karrion Kross. So no chance for any outside distraction here. But Gable, who felt the first 2 wins for Carmelo were a fluke, and he made an offer. He said, give me a 3rd match. And if you win, I will give you a shot at my European Championship. This past week on Raw, that third match took place. Gable would get a little frustrated in that one, go to the outside, grab a chair, and he thought that the referee wasn't looking. Kurt Angle was talking to the ref, but the ref did see Gable swing the chair. Mello would win by disqualification, but he would still get this match here tonight. Carmelo Hayes still looking for his first title, his first championship here in the open mic universe. Goes for a cover, but Gable able to kick out at 2, and Mello can't believe it. Mello says, "Mello, don't miss," and he doesn't as he clotheslines Chad Gable down onto the floor. Now with a little bit of ground and pound. Lifts Gable up. Sends him into the barricade. And now Mello going up top. Frog splash off the top. Down onto the floor. Now Mello's got to remember, Gable gets counted out. Title will not change hands. And look at Gable. Able to swing the momentum back in his direction. Maybe Mello was a little bit overconfident, a little bit cocky there. And now Gable dropping the straps. Grabs Mello's ankle lock. And Mello not tapping Gable up top. Hits the moonsault, grabs the leg and hooks. And Chad Gable will retain and remain your WWE European Champion. It was looking good for Mello there for a while, but I think he got a little too cocky, and it came back to bite him. Next, we've got a match for the WCW Cruiserweight Championship. Charlie Dempsey. Dempsey, who showed up at the Royal Rumble after this man, Ilya Dragunov, who after months of trying to regain his Cruiserweight Championship, finally able to get it back from Santos Escobar at the Royal Rumble. And as the referee handed Dragunov the Cruiserweight title, Charlie Dempsey would hit the ring, jump Dragunov from behind, and then lay him out with that newly won Cruiserweight Championship. What's going on here? JD McDonough on his way down to ringside here. One thing that we've noticed, Dempsey's fairly new to the universe. He's only been in the universe for about 2 months now. And it really kind of sent a big shockwave through the Cruiserweight division when the newest guy basically goes after the champion like he did at the Royal Rumble. And since that time, we have seen maybe the rest of the Cruiserweight division, or a good bit of the Cruiserweight division so far, has kind of taken the lead from what Dempsey did at the Rumble. We saw Cruiserweights getting involved in each other's matches. And McDonough coming out here is kind of what we've come to expect over the last month in the Cruiserweight division in WCW. The former champion, Santos Escobar, he called out Dempsey, believing that as the former champion, he deserved a rematch. He deserved the next shot. Didn't appreciate Dempsey kind of jumping the line. But again, you can't really disagree. It's worked out pretty well for Charlie Dempsey so far, as he finds himself in there. Maybe not in the way, the fact that you got to go in there and battle the Mad Dragon, but he does have a title opportunity here. Dempsey with the reversal. Laying in some heavy shots to Dragunov. And the Mad Dragon goes down. Dempsey waiting for Dragunov to get up. Monkey flips him across the ring. And now Dragunov with a kick to the head. These two trading shots. Dragunov clotheslining Dempsey down onto the floor. And now the Mad Dragon with some words for McDonough. Maybe asking him if he's liking the show so far. Dragunov sending Dempsey into McDonough. JD McDonough down. Dragunov tossing his opponent back into the ring. The referee looked a little frustrated there. Not really much you could do. It wasn't like McDonough touched anybody there. H-bomb from Ilya Dragunov. Goes for the cover. And Ilya Dragunov with the win, as he remains the WCW Cruiserweight Champion. It is time for our main event, the men's Elimination Chamber match. And the winner of this one moves on to WrestleMania to face the WWE World Champion, The Rock, the final boss, and the High Chief of the Bloodline. Obviously, over the last couple of days, the thing that everybody's talking about, the return of Roman Reigns. He was put in this match by WWE official Triple H. Reigns, who made his return this week on SmackDown. And it turned the WWE and the open mic universe as a whole upside down. Guess Roman, not the only return this week. R-Truth bringing back little Jimmy. And there is the man himself, Roman Reigns. A couple of interesting things to note here. We have not seen Roman Reigns in tactical gear in years. And what kind of message is he trying to send with the old Shield video playing on the Titantron? There have been a lot of people in the WWE and WCW in our universe that have been on the wrong side of The Rock and his bloodline over the last 6 months or more. But really, the first victim of The Rock, the first victim of his bloodline, is this man, Roman Reigns. And what's funny, too, is Roman has not got a positive response from the crowd here in the open mic universe since our universe started. He's been the bad guy. He's been the tyrant. And then at SummerSlam when Rock showed up and he made it seem like he wanted to get rid of Roman, he wanted to get rid of the bloodline for the good of the WWE, for the good of the open mic universe. And so at Fall Brawl, he teamed up with the WWE World Champion at the time, Jimmy Uso, to take on Roman and Jacob Fatu. In the middle of that match, Jacob would abandon Roman and leave him to fend for himself. In the end, Rock and Jimmy would get the win and then really kind of toss Roman from the ring. And we didn't see Roman until this past week on SmackDown. We now know that it was Roman who was that mystery man that was showing up on WWE shows over the last few weeks. We can never see who it was. We can never see their face. It was always some grainy security footage, or we saw somebody from behind wearing a hood. But that mystery was solved. That mystery was revealed on SmackDown, and thanks to Triple H, we had an opening here in this Elimination Chamber. And maybe with the history of Roman, maybe that wasn't Triple H's first choice. But after Rock showed up on Nitro earlier this week, got involved in the qualifying match between Jey Uso and Drew McIntyre, which caused Jey to lose that match. After that happened, I think Triple H figured maybe the devil you know, or maybe the devil you know a little better, is better than the devil that you're dealing with. You can see Roman, he's ready for action over there in his pod. Now, for all you stat nerds out there, let's break this down. Just like the women's Elimination Chamber winners of the past, on the men's side, the winner of the Elimination Chamber in our first 2 years of the universe also hold a 100% success rate when they go on to WrestleMania and challenge for a world championship. Randy Orton's door opens. He is now in the match. In year 1, it was what we thought to be Doink the Clown winning the Elimination Chamber. It actually ended up being Cody Rhodes dressed up as Doink the Clown. He had to get creative to find his way into the chamber. He would go on to our first WrestleMania, finish his story, defeat Roman Reigns, and become WWE World Heavyweight Champion. Last year, it was Despicable Rey Mysterio who would go from winning the Elimination Chamber to taking on the WCW World Champion AJ Styles. And he also would walk out of WrestleMania as the World Champion. So we will see if the winner here can keep that streak alive. Funny enough, we're on the women's side. Their 2 Royal Rumble winners are 0 for 2. The men's Royal Rumble winners, 2-0. When it comes from going to from the Royal Rumble to WrestleMania. McIntyre able to kick out. Punk sent to the outside. McIntyre, a former one-time WCW World Champion. Randy Orton, a former one-time WWE World Champion. Now here comes R-Truth. Roman Reigns, a former record 5-time WWE World Heavyweight Champion. CM Punk still looking for his first championship in our universe. R-Truth, a one-time WCW Tag Team Champion. Big Bronson Reed, a one-time WCW United States Champion. McIntyre tossing Reed to the outside. And as the clock ticks down, we wait for that final pod to open. Roman Reigns now in the Elimination Chamber. All 6 men in there. Who is going to WrestleMania? CM Punk with an elbow drop to Drew McIntyre. And Punk eliminates the Scottish Psychopath. We are down to 5. Then delivers a GTS to R-Truth. But Truth able to get his shoulder up. Then gets rewarded with Big Bronson Reed, tossing him to the outside, which may not be a bad place to be. Let these 4 guys beat the hell out of each other. Take some time to try to recover, especially after that GTS. Roman down, Bronson Reed taking a little rest in the corner. Belly-to-belly suplex from Randy Orton to CM Punk. And now Orton taking the stomp tour all around the body of CM Punk. Orton with the cover. But Punk able to get his shoulder up. Orton sent into the corner by R-Truth, and now Truth turning his attention to Roman Reigns, takes him down. Orton was going for an RKO, but was blocked by Roman Reigns. Orton sent to the outside. Punk down in the corner. Truth in a bad way at the hands of Bronson Reed. Truth fights his way out. Only a 2 count for Roman. Punk now taking a break on the top turnbuckle. Roman with some heavy clotheslines to Randy Orton in the corner. Punk tried for a crossbody, but Bronson Reed able to block it. And R-Truth has been eliminated, thanks to Big Bronson Reed. We are down to CM Punk, Randy Orton, Roman Reigns, and Bronson Reed. Orton moves out of the way. Punk from behind takes down Roman. Inverted atomic drop from CM Punk to Bronson Reed. DDT. Where's Punk going here? Now Punk and Reed on the outside. Randy and Roman on the inside. One of these four men. So close to WrestleMania, so close to the main event. Bronson Reed climbing. And he lands on CM Punk. Punk set into the pod by Bronson, and now Randy with the stomps to Roman Reigns. Randy with the cover. But Roman gets his shoulder up at the count of 2. Now Randy setting up RKO. But the referee was counting Bronson Reed's pin on CM Punk, and that may have bought Roman a little bit of extra time there. Randy was headed for another RKO, but Bronson Reed breaking it up. Randy down, Punk slow to his feet. Now all four men in the ring. Punk from behind. RKO to CM Punk. Randy with the cover. And CM Punk has been eliminated. It is down to Bronson Reed, Randy Orton, and Roman Reigns. Reigns with a guillotine to Bronson Reed. And Reed with no choice but to tap. And Reigns with the spear to the referee. I don't know if maybe he thought that was Randy. As he basically releases the guillotine, got up and immediately spears the referee. The referee is down. I don't think it was on purpose. I think it's just the heat of battle. Roman. Again, Roman's been gone for months. And so the emotions are high. The reason that he left, definitely something that has been eating away at him for months. He shows up on SmackDown, gets a huge response from the fans. I thought they were going to blow the roof off of the arena. And then you come in here to the Elimination Chamber, sold out crowd. You're the final two. It's either you or Randy that's going to WrestleMania. And for once in the career of Roman Reigns, the prize at the end of the road isn't the World Championship. It's the man that's holding that championship, The Rock, the man who took everything away from Roman Reigns. Spear. Goes for the cover. But Randy gets his shoulder up. Took everything from Roman. Took his bloodline. And part of that falls on Roman. He essentially kicked out the Usos, replaced them with Tama Tonga and Tonga Loa, brought in Jacob Fatu. Come to find out, those guys were with The Rock all along. And here he finds himself so close to potentially getting his hands on his cousin. And the man that was responsible for all of it. Superman punch. Roman hooking the leg. And that will do it. Roman Reigns comes back, wins the Elimination Chamber, and will get his hands on his cousin, The Rock, at WrestleMania. Thanks for watching, and good night from Elimination Chamber.